Hello, hello. Oh, my mic's on, yes? Okay. For a second I thought it wasn't. Hi everyone, how's it going? I changed my setup a little bit. I now have a bookshelf here. I also moved my desk. I just rotated it. Yeah, it's the same room actually, yeah. But yeah, thank you for the happy anniversaries. It's yeah, I had no idea it was today. I did get an email from Twitch like 2 weeks ago to remind me and I forgot, and then I was setting up my my desk and then making sure it all looked good in OBS, and I was like, oh, happy anniversary. But yeah, I think I'm gonna maybe take these off the wall and then rearrange them here. I don't know what shape to put it in. It's kind of like in a little bit of a wave right now, and you can't even see the end of it, but yeah. And then, oh, jeez. Oh, my alert! Hold on, there's the alert.
Anniversary.
Anniversary! She says it so funny. Oh my god, Brando! That's 2 years! Cause I remember now, you were my very first sub as soon as I hit affiliate, which was 2 years ago. That's crazy. Thank you so much for sticking around for all that time. At tier 2! Oh, I forget what the tier 2 emote is. Is it bagel? It might be bagel. Oh, that's so exciting. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, I've got some plushies up here. I have a taco, a piranha, and a penguin that Christian got for me from Japan. There's a little Stardew chicken. I have Shane from Stardew and my Stardew painting, and then some bubble tea candles, a shiny Kyogre plushie, and I got this hippo in San Diego. And then I think here I'm gonna put some books, and then there's another bottom shelf, but you guys won't be able to see it, but I might put something heavy there to keep it sturdy. But yeah, I think I still need like something else here. I don't know, I've been painting with my friend. We painted this together. So I might think of like another thing to paint. I don't know. But yeah, that's a little bit of a new background tour. Yeah, I don't like how you can't really see all of this when I make the camera a bit smaller, so I'll have to think of another shape. Maybe a heart would be kind of cute. I might do that. Hi Tess! Thank you for the happy affiliate-versary. Thank you, thank you. It's been 2 years. I feel like when did I start streaming? I think I started streaming, maybe it was 2021. Yeah, it definitely was, because I started when we had no roommates, and that was 2021. That's crazy. Alright, well, to celebrate, we'll play more Ace Attorney. A lot happened last time. All I remember, like the big thing that we're doing now, is we're probably just chatting more people up, and then we're waiting for the trial that will happen tomorrow, I assume. And they're gonna bring in a new witness who we know his name, I think. But I'm gonna call him Man with Crossbow. We don't have him in the list yet. But yeah, Crossbow Man. Oh yeah, the machine! And then I hope I can maybe inspect the machine too. But also Susato's back! I miss her so much. I feel like she's my emotional clutch in this game. Okay, how do you say his name? Enoch? Dribbler. What a name. He engineered the machine. Yep. I know, I didn't play this game yesterday and I've already forgotten so much. But it was fun. We actually had Drew over yesterday. So we played some board games and I lost all of them. It's okay though. At least I wasn't in last. But yeah. Susanoo! Oh, this room, it's been too long. It hasn't changed in the slightest though. And it's been some 6 months, hasn't it? That's a long time for things to stay so familiar. I didn't know when you might return, and I wanted everything to be as you'd left it. Oh, but it has been some 6 months, it's true. Yes, Enoch was at the scene with Crossbow. I wonder... I don't think we can see it from here, but... Okay, no, you can't see any person's face. Okay. I was curious if we could see him. Yes, the police better find him. I think they will, and... I don't know if we'll recognize him. I don't know. Thank you for the catch-up. Oh yeah, is your father alright, Susie? What happened? He's fine. My father? Yes, Professor Mikotoba. I mean, it was half a year ago, but that's why you went back to Japan. Because of the telegram you received saying he'd fallen ill with a very high fever for some unknown reason. That's right. So, I was surprised to learn you'd be coming back so soon. Surprised but happy. Hmm? Oh, never mind. I thought I got an important message. I did not. I think I wrote about it in my letter to you, that it was all a trick. My father is in fine health, and I'm obviously very relieved about that. Well, we're all delighted to have you back. It was quite by accident that I've been able to return to Europe, actually. It's because of a very grand conference called the International Forensic Science Symposium. I wonder if her dad came too. That's the same symposium Lord Strongheart mentioned. Anyway, I've arrived safe and sound, and all that matters is that I'm here now. After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Oh, her promise about her dad? Or... I forget the promise. You must tell us everything that happened while you're back in Japan. Yes, of course, I shall. And there's one other thing. Something you wrote in your letter that particularly grabbed my attention. About you-know-who. About Kazuma? It's been a while since I remember the letter. I know, I'll tell you all that I can. Okay, tell me more. Oh, yeah, try not to cry, guys. When I first arrived back in Japan, I really thought I'd never be allowed to return to Britain. But curiously, after that awful trial at the Supreme Court, Father's mood changed entirely. The awful trial? Oh yes. For the murder of Jeslie Brett. Oh, you dressed as a man then, didn't you, Susie? Oh, well, yes. Since women are forbidden in the courtroom, I had no choice. Wow, amazing! I wish I'd seen it, don't you, Bruno? What's more impressive is that she managed to trick... I guess not everyone. The judge knew she was a woman, but she tricked some people. Susato and Rei. Susato and Rei, and Kazuma, and Rinosuke. I love it. These characters are so good. I hope Rei comes back. I did like her. Ship them hard. FedEx is gonna charge me postage. Oh, I want to play at being a lawyer now. I could wear a false mustache, maybe. I don't think any mustache could hide the fact that you're just 10 years old, Iris. True, true. New setup, yes. Well, kind of. Basically, I just, like, my desk used to be facing this wall over here, and I turned it. So now I'm facing, like, the door that leads out of this room, which looks weird when you're standing at the door, but I like it because then I don't have like the weird lighting from the windows and the guest bed that no one cares about, and I can bring all my cute stuff in here, so I like it. I'm gonna add more. I'm gonna hopefully make this a little more fancy as time goes on. There's something else I've been wanting to ask you, Mr. Sato. It's about the real reason why Professor Mikotoba summoned you back to Japan. You said in your letter it was something to do with that convict's loot. Oh. Right, ooh, I forget exactly what the loot was. But I remember it had someone's initial on it. Or like it had some letters on it. Was it like a... It had blood on it too. But what was the item? I don't remember. Ah, a bee. That's right, the very large dog collar, right? With the bee emblem. It seems Mr. Natsume included a drawing of the collar in the report he submitted about his time in Britain. I understand that when Father saw the report, he turned as white as a sheet. Why would that be then? Father came to Britain himself, of course, to study. It was some time ago now, but he stayed for 6 years. I can only imagine that something must have happened during that time. But if he refuses to tell me what it was, then I intend to find the answers for myself. I have a suspicion that the collar is related to the case... maybe the case with, I can never remember any names. With, Van Ziek's brother, the one that died. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I've decided that I, for one, won't keep any more secrets. Oh, Susie. That's a very meaningful look Susato-san's giving Iris there. Okay, let's talk about the symposium. Lord Strongheart mentioned something about that symposium too. I think he said that the investigative authorities from 40 different countries would attend. Yes, and from Japan, my father and Judge Jigoku have been invited. Yeah, the professor's serial killings. And I'm wondering too, if, I know in the previous case we just finished, the guy who hid the loot was in jail for murder, I assume. What if he was the professor? Maybe it's all tied together. That would be cool. Okay, it's something of an honor, I believe. Well, Professor Mikotoba is the leading expert in forensic medicine in our country, after all. Yes, time will tell. I'm so excited. Who's the other person you mentioned? A judge, did you say? Yes, His Excellency Judge Seishiro Jigoku. You've met him, Mr. Naruto. Last year in the Supreme Court, when I was accused for murder, I remember. You can't possibly have forgotten. Oh, I know when you watch a stream and you've already played the game, it's so hard not to spoil, but thank you for not spoiling. That terrible trial of yours when you were accused of murder. Ah, yes, I try to think of that as a positive turning point in my life these days. You're excited for my reactions? I'm excited for them too. Well, it was Judge Jigoku who presided over that trial. I like that judge better than the old man we have in Britain. If I'm perfectly honest, I'd be happy never to see that man's face again in my life. Oh well, anyway, as Father was invited to the symposium, he agreed to me returning to Britain too. He won't actually arrive until next month, but, well, I couldn't wait. So I pleaded with him, and in the end, he agreed to me going on ahead. Yes, about the symposium. It seems as though Lord Strongheart has put in an awful lot of work to make it happen. It's obviously very important. I believe it is, yes. As I understand it, Lord Strongheart organized the entire event himself. I think he's hoping that by achieving exceptional results, he'll get the job of Attorney General. The most senior position in all the British justice system. He's hoping to use his power to create the world's finest policing institute. That's what Father said anyway. Apparently, it's Lord Strongheart's lifelong ambition. Does Professor Mikotoba know Lord Strongheart personally then, I wonder? Oh, maybe. Actually, Lord Strongheart gave me a long speech all about the very subject only yesterday. But I sort of lost the will to live early on and didn't listen to much of it. How trying for you. Oh yes, Jesselie. Jesselie Brett, the woman whose unforgivable actions ended in me being wrongly accused of a murder he didn't commit. The murder of John H. Wilson. Yes, Jesselie Brett. That's a name I won't forget for as long as I live. The extraordinary thing is, though, it seems it's a name we should all forget. Sorry? Since the incident, our government's intelligence services have been investigating Miss Brett. But it turns out that an Englishwoman by the name of Jesselie Brett didn't actually exist. Didn't exist? But how can that be? It was a pseudonym? Pseudonym. Her real name was Shin, and she wasn't a visiting student either. That was a front. A front? Who on earth was she then? Hi Peter, thank you. Thank you. Miss A. Shin. Her name is literally all our intelligence services have been able to ascertain about her. Nobody knows why or even how she came to be in Japan. It's a complete mystery. That makes no sense. It's no easy task to be accepted as a foreign student anywhere. What could the woman have been up to? Oh, is that the default message? But did you mean it? Anyways, I'm happy. I like the party hat too. I'm afraid I really don't know. The only thing we can be sure of is that she had some business in our country that we don't yet understand. She was part of the whole government thing, and now she's been killed. While all the questions surrounding her existence remain unanswered. I'm afraid so. A. Shin. Who on earth was she? And why do I feel as though I've heard that name before somewhere? A. Shin? Oh man, I can't think of what name. It might come to me later. That's okay. What about Kazuma? After my friend Ray's trial, the reporter who actually killed Miss Brett said something very strange. I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. In that visiting student's fate. Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on that steamship, right? And that he'll never... Obviously, I couldn't ask him to elaborate at the time, but later I visited the man in his prison cell and asked him what he was going to say about Kazuma. What did you learn? After he died on the voyage to Great Britain, his body should have been unladen at the port of Hong Kong and passed into the care of the consulate staff there. Should have been. Okay. My guess is that Kazuma never died. I think he's still alive. And he is possibly this guy. That's my very random theory. I have a hunch. I don't know though. I don't know if it's... I don't know. It turns out that his body never arrived. I'm on that copium. The only reason I'm thinking is because in this case, we're introduced to the whole wax figure thing. So maybe Kazuma's body was a wax figure. There's no blood. Did anyone check? Make sure he was dead? That was a very, very sketchy boat ride, and then this girl, she looks like the ballerina, and I think it's all, I don't know. Oh, a short U. Kozoma? No. Kozama? Kozama? I've been saying it wrong this whole time. His body disappeared. What? Wait, Kozama. I think I'm saying it right. Our government tried to cover the fact up, it seems. They erected a grave on the cliffs by our hometown. Except... Oh, but I like saying Kazuma. I want to keep saying Kazuma. He isn't there. Did Professor Mikotoba know about this? Yes, it would seem that he did. But he didn't tell me. Oh. Kazama? Kazama? I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Oh my goodness. They're still investigating what happened to his body as we speak. I just don't believe it. And what is this acute feeling of apprehension I have all of a sudden? Me too. Thinking back now, some of the things that happened on the SS Bureau were definitely strange. Yeah, they keep going back to his body, and maybe he never died. Oh my goodness, if he never died, and I had to go through all of this emotional trauma, thinking that he had died? As if language is phonetically consistent. No chance. We never saw his body. Oh my goodness, could it be? Could it be that he's actually still alive? Okay. Stop it, it's too much to bear. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Just thinking about the possibility pains me so very much. Cast your mind back for a moment. When Kazama was discovered, Mr. Sholmes was there. And he definitely examined the body. I remember it clearly. You're right. Yeah, I think I'll say it however I want, because otherwise I'm gonna mess up. So if he hadn't actually been dead at all, it would mean that Mr. Sholmes had lied to us. But there's no reason why he would possibly have done such a thing. Unless he's not such a good guy. I suppose that's true, yes. The idea that he might still be alive somewhere. He wants to fill me with hope, but I can't let it, because if it turned out not to be true, then I'd be back at the bottom of that awful pit of despair again. I'm terrified of what that might do to me. Oh, Miss Susato! Yeah, Iris, let's have a group hug. Iris can come too, because Susato loves Iris. I know she's given the idea the thought it deserves. If Susato-san... It's Susato-san we're talking about after all. So I probably shouldn't push it now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see if there's anything I should show her. Maybe I'll show her this. How about this paper? Yes, it's all about the Great Exhibition. I've been dreaming about it, you know. I was sorry that you were going to miss it when you were called back to Japan. So was I. I felt desperately unlucky. But here I am back in London while it's underway. It's a dream come true. Perhaps you're not as unlucky as you thought then. Once we've helped Professor Harebrained out of his terrible situation, we should all explore it together. And of course, we must investigate the professor's good friend, Lord Van Zieks, as well. Your luck might not stretch that far. Okay. I can't move anywhere? Do I want to examine... Ah, Iris. Must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. It's about one of Hurley's great exploits. I called it The Hound of the Baskervilles. But then Mr. Sholmes forbade you from publishing it and put the manuscript somewhere nobody could get their hands on it. So nobody knows anything about it apart from Hurley and I. But for some reason, you knew the title of it, didn't you, Susie? Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. You wouldn't tell me how you'd come to know it. Yes, but I made you a promise that I would explain one day, didn't I? I think it's time. Oh? I'm only sorry I've had to keep it from you for so long, Iris. Okay, tell me. It was completely by accident that I came to know the title of your manuscript, Iris. Yeah, you've got some splaining to do, girl. It was a short while before we left Japan. I was cleaning Father's study and I saw something on his writing desk. A large box of papers. There was a label affixed to the box that was written in English. It read, The Hound of the Baskervilles. I'm saying that right? Basker? I keep wanting to say Bakervilles, but there's an S in there. My Baskerville story? Of course. I had no idea what it was at the time. But Father came in and... Susato, what are you doing? Speaking of baking? Ooh. Oh, Father, did you look at those papers? No, I simply read the label, that's all. Well, put it out of your mind. Forget that you ever saw it, and certainly don't tell anybody else about this. Do you understand? Oh yeah, the cinnamon roll talk. I told Christian about the big fucking roll, and then I got out a new roll of paper towels, and it was really, really big, so I pulled it out, and I was like, it's the big fucking roll. Cinnaholics, yum. Let me know how it is. When I told Christian about the big fucking roll, he was like, can we get cinnamon rolls? He really wanted one. I think that's probably like one of his favorite baked goods. That and apple fritters. Yeah, I had to make some tea because it's only almost 8, and I was already sleepy at the beginning of stream, so I was like, I need a little bit of tea. Yeah, apple fritters are really good. Oh, you googled cinnamon rolls and went to see the maps nearby. Nice. I wonder if we have any like local shops that make cinnamon rolls, because we have a Cinnabon, and those are really good, but a local place might make them better. We have a local place that makes good apple fritters, though. Okay, what was Iris's manuscript doing in Japan? I have no idea. But when I heard Iris mention the word Baskerville that day, excuse me, the title just slipped out. I would never have guessed that it was an unpublished account of one of Mr. Sholmes' exploits. When I returned to Japan, I asked father to explain, but he refused to answer my questions, and there was no sign of the big box in his office. That's really all I know about it. I've no doubt that father has a very good reason for being so secretive about it, but still. I made up my mind to explain myself to both of you. Well, thank you for being so honest, Susie. So, Mr. Naruto, I'm ready to start investigating if you are. I've committed every detail about the case to memory, of course. And Iris has told me about the disturbing happenings at the Waxwork Museum as well. So, you're fully abreast in the situation already. I expect nothing less, to be honest. I would think our first port of call should be to investigate this Mr. Drebber, the engineer responsible for building the elaborate machine that was used to effect this extraordinary trick. Yes, a conjurer of sorts, by the sound of it, well known in the fields of science and magic. Then we need to go and arrest him. Well, yes. He must know the truth behind this case, so I agree, we really do need to find the man. It sounds like it's a case of tracking someone down. Which is a job for the police or a great detective. Are we supposed to guess who she might be thinking of? We don't have much time, so we need to get started straight away, I think. Oh, nice. You're looking at the menu. Is there anything like... I feel like a place called Cinnaholics would have different toppings on their cinnamon buns. If there is, please share any cool names. I'll hold. Good idea. Well, best of luck then. Oh, you're not coming today? I'm going to Brixton Road shortly for the herb market. For her teas? But let me know later how you got on, won't you? That was a little abrupt. The pull of the herb market must be strong. Okay. I would actually... I want to just look at this box. What if the manuscript is in here? Okay, no. I'm just gonna skip this. I don't want to know why this dude is messy. You're not a big fan of cinnamon. Oh, just cinnamon. That's okay, we all have different tastes. Okay, food page in Discord. Okay. How big are those? Oh, okay, I can see someone's hand. Okay, those are really big. Oh, that looks so good. Now I'm drooling. Oh my goodness. I want one. Oh, I can make it bougie or simple. Nice. Susanoo in the Uno reverse. Right. Yeah, this game is all about Susanoo. So the new location... Oh! Oh no, we went there. We haven't... What? We've been everywhere. I'm just gonna try going here. Ace Attorney... Can you imagine if they made a game about Susanoo's point of view? I'd play that. Get wrecked, Bruno. Okay. Oh, puppy! I had no idea there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds at this point. Has it? I shut my brain down, so I didn't really notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes. Yes, the pupper! There you are. I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long. Oh, it's Gregson. I see you're hard at work as usual. Warm greetings to you, too. I do hope you've been keeping well since last we met. What's with all this ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning. Not you, Sunshine. The gentleman so loyally at your side. Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. He might be a bit rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. What a gentleman. As you've probably guessed, we're hoping to investigate the scene some more. Right, well, that's the young trainee's domain. Oi, get over here, Gina. Get wrecked again, Runo. Nobody cares about Rinosuke. Nobody. It's all about Susato. She seems to be busy playing with the puppy. Oh, maybe this dog has a collar? Anyways, probably giving it a traditional East End training. Gina? She's a police officer now? Amazing, isn't it? She's a good kid, actually. Heart's in the right place, anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely. What do you mean? I'm being transferred. It's time for me to stay toodaloo to London. Oh no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along. Huh, not likely, but you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is. France? I'll be working in the Paris Police Prefecture. It should be right up my alley. But France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? That's the way the adult world works, Sunshine. Now, don't go poking your nose into where it's not wanted. But where will he get his unlimited fish and chips? I'm intending to take the kid with me when I go. What? Oh. Because there's definitely something going on. And Gina is definitely the ballerina. And maybe Gregson's going with her to protect her. I don't know if France does fish. I'm trying to think if they do. I mean, they probably do eat fish, but not like fish and chips. That's so British. Sure, he has the fish and chips. He has the infinite fish and chips, and he'll bring that to London. To Paris. I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what would become of her? I suppose he's worried she'd slip back into slipping her hands into people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruto. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, I don't think so. I think it's because she's the ballerina. Sounds like a silly D&D item. Oh my goodness, that would be the best. Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina, so don't go blabbing, you hear me? No, of course not. Gotta keep that Diamond Diva safe and sound, until all of this is over at least. All of what is over? Oi, did you just call me a bloomin' Diamond Diva again? So you heard that, did you? Right, well, any questions about the scene, you can put them to my capable detective diva here. Alright, you heard the boss. Inspector Lestrade's in charge here now. I suppose I better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you got a new dog, have you? Oh, look at the good boy. Toby! Oh, how delightful. He's absolutely adorable. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's the not so lovely Inspector Gregson that's playing on my mind, to be honest. Alright, questions. Investigating the scene. Gina, we were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Yes, Toby. Aww. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, you can't go up there. Why? It's like I told Odo yesterday, even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's it called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The special... Okay, but I thought we agreed that that was not gonna happen. That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The forensic... Oh, okay. The forensic investigation team? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. Okay. But isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthful with you. You're still supposed to get permission from some bigwig or other, as far as I know. Okay. Lord Strongheart. I'm not sure that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Ace Attorney Toby? Ace Attorney, Susato, Toby, and Ray. That's all we need. That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. Okay, without his permission we can't investigate on this stage. It was great, weren't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one on me that... You know, being in court and not spending the whole time worrying if I'm about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets in all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and Odo's made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. But watching someone else get it in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that Dodgy Professor's dodgy experiment was a total fix. A dodgy professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruto's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish he wasn't, though. It's the boss I feel sorry for. Sent off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for tomorrow and all. You know, that dodgy engineer. What's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean? Enoch Drebber. That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess they would be. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him a gut ache. Oh dear, but I do wonder if that isn't actually from all the fried food. True. Oh, that would be kind of cool. Game from Gina's perspective. So Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber. I wonder if they've had any luck. It's really funny looking. Got two eyes that don't match. Saw a glimpse of a picture of him earlier. I mean, it didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, who? You know, that Scowling Reaper who's always glugging down glasses of that plot red plonk. Lord Van Zeeks. He's always had it in for me, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. Should rather be the Reaper's apprentice than a detective's trainee. The way I see it. If the choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-glugging demigod, you're equally badly off with both. I suppose you're right. I hadn't thought of it like that. Glad we put that one to bed. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding the fishy engineer. But there don't seem to be no clues to go on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that can lead us to Drebber at all? Okay, the last and most important question. Where did you find that little mutt? Oi, don't be so flamin' rude. Slight overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt, alright. Toby's... how do they put it? Oh yeah. Bonfide detective. Especially considering that the wine-glugging one could be a vampire. True. We have no proof that he's human. I've given him a proper title and everything. It's Chief Inspector Toby to you. More senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? I've heard that they're already being used officially in Germany as a part of their city policing. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell after all. I have a fairly good sense of smell myself as it happens. I can tell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that haven't. Okay, that added nothing to the conversation. According to what the boss said, once Toby here's got a good whiff of your drawers, he could chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world, you mean? He can swim? Mr. Naruto, I think you may have missed the point. By a rather wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. I'm telling you, there's gotta be more and more dogs doing their bit for the police in the future. I love his little bit of hair in the front. One of these days, they'll be barking orders at us lot, not the other way around. Oh dear, sorry Gina, I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby here is Britain's first police dog. I love that they have a matching, like, the scarf matches with her, her sleeves. That's so cute. I found him down the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out in the street. There you go, I knew she lifted him from somewhere. Oh Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. Okay. I don't think I need to present anything to her. I don't see anything new. I could take a look at these again. Scorcher on the ground that you mentioned. Green balloons envelope. Clear evidence that it exploded on the day of the incident. Okay. Alright. I don't really want to look at all this again. Let's try going here. Maybe we'll get permission, maybe not. A new person. Who's that? Oh, who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder, I've never seen her before. Hello. The young champion of the court. You had some success this morning, I understand. And you've thrown the entire government into disarray as a result? Oh. You mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment? Sham science being demonstrated at London's Great Exhibition? The country's been made to look foolish, and now politicians are scrabbling to respond. It's not my fault. Lord Van Zieks is in Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with that scrap metal in no time. It's scrap metal now, is it? Oh, she's a little scary. She looks like she needs some, or she looks like she's low in iron. She's just so pale. Until later then, Lord Strongheart. Okay, nice to meet you. Who is that? That was Dr. Courtney Scythe, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. She's leading the forensic investigation team's handling of this case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact. Oh, true! Maybe she is a vampire. You both said it at the same time. Oh. Yeah, honestly, London definitely has a vampire problem. Oh, I see. About Mr. Osman. Following the outcome of the trial earlier, I asked the coroner's office to reevaluate its findings. I don't have time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly. You can find her in the forensics laboratory. Right. Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time. So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. What can we ask him? Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. What if Strongheart is a vampire too? He could be. Possibly. It is a very oddly specific time. But, I mean, I expect it coming from him. What exactly is the forensic investigation team that you mentioned before? The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensic investigation team a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago. At next month's symposium, I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensics division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly. What do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system with false evidence and bribes. Okay. But London scum is about to be rounded up. Oh. And burnt in the fires of hell. I intend to see to it personally. Okay. By creating the finest police force the world has ever known, to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes. He means every word. Dr. Scythe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially establish the forensic division at Scotland Yard, she will run it as my right-hand woman. Now then, speaking of the symposium, Miss Mikotoba. Oh yes, my lord. Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. It's one of the branches of Britain's Parliament, the House of Commons, and the House of Lords, right? Yeah, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Strongheart? With Professor Mikotoba, I mean? He's like, none of your business. It was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mikotoba very well. Okay. If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was the year I was born, so yes, 16. She's only 16? I forgot. But she's so smart. Mikotoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young, promising judge. The punctiliousness? I guess that means like how punctual they are? And politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way. I didn't think that you were. Dr. Mikotoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Scythe was also there then, as it happens. Then Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she? It'll be like a little reunion. She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I've no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mikotoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total. We can't ship her with anyone? What? Who? Oh, with, yeah, Susato. True. But it could be a friendship. Yeah. A friendship. That's the ship. Ship. A very close friendship. 6 years. That's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? I lived with my grandmother in those years. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years? It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh. Yeah, they're besties. Perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? Yeah, they can drink tea and play with Toby. Clearly something was going on at the time. I wanted to ask you about Lord Benziques, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, who targets nobles and royalty. Is that right? The Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper. The music is making me shiver. When his brother Clint Benziques was murdered, it was just after young Barak had graduated from the University of London and become a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade conviction in court started disappearing. Rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that whoever Barak Benziques went, or wherever he went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind. Oh my word. So Lord Benziques isn't the Reaper? It's the ghost of his brother? But it's just a rumor. Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles. That's all the time we have, folks. Oh, go ahead. It's about Professor Harebrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains if possible. Please. Please. Are you well versed in science then? Not in the slightest. In fact, you can say I was barely aware of the subject at all until recently. Well, the special dispensation legally preventing investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Scythe's team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. But I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing. Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing. And I'll be able to see it too. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you are so busy, my lord. I have important matters to attend to in preparation for the symposium, you understand. Bye! Okay, let's look at the wreckage. Yeah, I'll go to the lab later. Hi, Darkly! Yes, it's my anniversary! My anniversary. Oh. It's been 2 years of streaming, which is... I feel like it's been longer, but also it's not that long. Wait, that's off limits up there, but I have permission. Try to sneak past me again and I'll sniff your gob full of the boss's fish and chips. Yes, please, I love fish and chips. I suppose we need special permission. I have it! He said I could! We have to talk to Gina. Gina. We were actually hoping that we could investigate the scene again. Yeah, alright. If it's around here, you can do what you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? Okay. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Okay. But we have permission. Yeah. Okay. No. Hold on, I'm skipping this because we already read it. Sweet free lunch. Okay. Actually, I've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. You what? You met him? Last time the boss was called to go and see him, he waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniveling. Sniffling? Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly. Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He'll never eat another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying all this is above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, them's the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Okay. No, I keep doing move instead of analyzing. Okay, let's just go. Yep, 30 feet or 9 meters. Craning your neck to see up to this to it starts to hurt after a while, doesn't it? Yes, we need to get up there and look around properly. Although if I'm honest, climbing all those stairs makes my chest hurt. Oh dear, I think perhaps you should exercise more. What? Let me go. Oh, I had to do the stairs? Let's go. Oh my goodness. So nothing should have changed. I mean, we got a look at it the other day. Maybe we get a better look now with Susato's input. Oh my, so this is the machine. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It's a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrain went to in order to obtain the research grant. No. The professor was tricked as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You never see such a grand deception in Japan, that's for sure. Oh, look, is that? Oh, hi! Lord Van Zieks! He's in the sunlight, guys. He's not a vampire. He's not. So, I think we're more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Miss Susato? Already? He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. We have permission to be here from the top. He's just wearing vampire sunscreen. Can you imagine? We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this machine as long as we don't touch anything. From the top. Do you mean Lord Strongheart? SPF 9001. It's just over 9,000. You guys are all same brain cells. Same brain cells. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have bent her steel will. Okay. Should I talk to him first or should we look around first? Okay, we're looking. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girders have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they call the bird cage was right in the middle of it all, just here. But look, Mr. Naruto, that metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's designed to open. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through and disappeared from sight. You're full of memes? You sure are. That's the best way to be. Full of memes. I don't think there's any doubt that this was a very elaborate hoax, is there? Interesting. So we did learn something. Sorry, I've got something in my eye, it feels like. This wasn't here yesterday. What? Was it not? Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the cage in which the victim was standing before he was apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the birdcage, according to what Professor Harebrained said in court, is made of wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. And despite having been in an explosion and then falling from a great height, it's relatively unharmed. What wonderfully durable construction, wouldn't you say, Mr. Naruto? I'd understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they'd finished their work. But sadly, not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions not to touch anything, but still. This is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. Ah. Can we examine it? Aha. Oh, I guess, like, if it fell, the bottom would have hit like that. Interesting. Oh, this game. This game is full of everything. The wood's cracked and broken a little, I suppose because it fell from such a height. Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down into the crystal tower below. A fall of about 30 feet, or 9 meters, leaving the man inside tragically dead. Ba-ba. Interesting. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Okay. Alright, then Zeke's. I'll talk to you in a second. Look at that horn-shaped transmitting device. Isn't it amazing? That's exactly what I thought when I first saw it. Hi, Jax! $5 to pinch his butt. I'd do it for free. If only it had just been a normal horn, none of this would have happened. That's almost exactly what I thought as well. I bet I can predict what you're gonna say next in that case. You're about to say nothing ever goes to plan, aren't you? Oh no, I would never say something like that. Oh, I just realized all these balloons have the stripes. However much I look at them, I just can't come to terms with those Tamari handballs floating in the sky. You've been glaring at them constantly since we came up here. Sorry, the feelings of wanting to ride in one and wanting never to set foot in one are fighting it out inside me. But if you don't look where you're walking, you might fall from the stage. I don't think I'd noticed. That's how fiercely the battle inside me is raging. Have we been? We've been pretty good. We've been busy. May was so busy. We just had like a lot of weddings and stuff. And then now things have calmed down. We're like not really going anywhere this month, which is nice. But yeah. How have you been, Jax? I hope you've been well. I think you should make peace with riding in one. It really would be much safer that way. Also, Jex, have you played Tears of the Kingdom? Because if we haven't been busy, we've been playing Tears of the Kingdom. And technically, I think I could go fight Ganon maybe. But I don't have enough shrines done. I have like no hearts. And then Christian, I think he's almost at Ganon as well. Oh, we've been to a wedding? You haven't played Tears of the Kingdom? That's okay. Whenever you do, it's gonna be good. It's really, really fun. But yeah, it's wedding time. It's wedding season. I have one more wedding to go to, and then we'll have our own wedding later. So I'm honestly kind of looking forward to when our wedding is over, and then I can just relax. But no, it'll be fun. I don't think I'll look at these. I'm gonna talk to Van Zeeks, and then I have to use the washroom, and then I have laundry in the washer that I gotta throw in the dryer, so I might do that quick after we talk to him. Least approachable man in the world, winner 10 years in a row. Be strong. Your country and your assistant stand firm behind you. Lord Van Zeeks? We're not getting married in a church. I think... I don't know for sure. I think one of our friends is gonna marry us. And then my mom's husband is, like, he's ordained, so he can do the signing for us. But yeah, we're just gonna get married at our venue. Cause do you think Christian's gonna go in a church? Do you think I'm gonna go in a church? No. Beautiful weather we're having, isn't it? I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. Apparently, you're unequipped to read the signs. Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Well, the thing is... Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you managed to disturb me. Ha! Sorry. Never mind. State your business, then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zeeks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it's nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with this. Oh, really? In the Philippines are all of them at churches? I didn't know that. Before his sunscreen wears off? Ask away, you won't know unless you try. He looks so angry. So, we're gonna start off with your dead brother. What's the name of your older brother, I understand? I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no, it's not like that. Well, alright, it is a bit like that. It's not just being in the Philippines, it's that everyone's religious. Really? I didn't know that. And everyone's a Christian there? Southern Baptist family. I'll get disowned if I don't get married in a church. See, my family is Baptist, not Southern Baptist. But like everyone in my family, not my cousins, but like my mom, dad, my brother, super Baptist. And like I moved in with Christian, who's not religious, and I wasn't disowned. And yeah. And you're not even religious. Yeah. I was really religious for a long time. And then I went to university and I actually was like, you know what? None of this makes sense. And then I stopped being religious. But yeah, I'm lucky, like, my family, I thought they were really strict. And I thought, like, they don't even drink. They're really strict on that, or I thought they were strict on that, but it's just like their personal preference and they're not really judgy. So I'm pretty lucky, I think, in my situation where they respect my decisions, which is nice because I will respect their decisions to be religious. Oh man, everyone's a Christian, but not you, Jix, right? Unless you are. I don't know. But yeah, when I told my mom that I was dating Christian, she was like, "Is he a Christian?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's his name." But yeah, I told her, well, actually, I shouldn't say that my family doesn't judge, because I told her he wasn't a Christian, and then she was like, "Oh, this isn't going to work." And now she likes Christian more than she likes me. Oh, your mom married a Muslim man, so there's no fervent religiousness in your household. Ooh. That must be nice. Because then, like, you get... Like, is your mom Muslim or Christian? Because then if you have one parent that's one religion and one that's another, you get... Yeah, oh, that's so cool. Then you get to learn about both sides and, like, that's cool. I think that's cool. Oh, religion. I'm trying to think. Maybe I will run to the bathroom now, actually. I really gotta go. And then I'm gonna try my best to just throw all my laundry in the dryer real quick. And then I'll try to be back real fast. And we'll get back to talking about him. You're gonna have your wedding in what? I don't even know what that is. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry if that took a long time. Okay, let me catch up. Your family was shaman? What is shaman? Converted to Catholic, still not sure why they made the change. Interesting. Is that, I think I've learned about this before. Interesting. Oh, Jax asked it too. Do you get to fire a cannon when you say I do? You just know it involves a lot of spirit communication. Okay, and this is like two different, two very different conversations. You launch a shot straight from the thing right after the I do's. Oh no. Curious how your religion gatherings look compared to Christian ones? Yeah, it would be very interesting. Oh my goodness. It's very crowded. Gatherings usually happen in a house rather than a building. Interesting. Oh, I need a second. I'm out of breath from running around. Also, we may hear Bagel yelling in a little bit. Because I went downstairs and then I patted him on the head a bunch. And after I came out of the washroom, he was like, "Where are you going?" For funerals, they usually rent out buildings. Ah. Yeah, I think I like learned about that religion briefly in school, but not too much. Yeah. Alright, let's go back to Van Zieks. Oh, my older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zieks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. The professor, you mean? Is something funny? That's the extent of what you discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. There's more to it then. Lackluster work is very much your trademark, isn't it? You're too kind. Are you going to... Ooh. So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zieks, there's a rather curious case that's come to our attention. You don't know anyone else that are shaman other than among families? If I were to cosplay someone from Ace Attorney, who should I cosplay? Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to think who is in the last game. You should cosplay this guy. Yeah. He's, what, Italian? Mr. Loon. Are you aware of the Madame Tussbell's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I feature in one of the displays there for public scorn. He features there? Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from the place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork? Which... Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. Balthazar, is that his name? Ba, 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 ba. Balthazar Loon. Age 42. He sells hot air balloons. Or no, he sells hot air balloon rides. And he has a hat that is a hot air balloon. It's really cool. Oh, he was unaware of that. He turned as white as a sheet. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to Professor Harebrain, was of a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair and wears a black monocle. Need to reapply the sunscreen? He's got like a bit of a bluish hue to him too. So I was just wondering, I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but we'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine. Why not? Okay, thanks. I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Interesting. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. Look at this photograph. We all need the man's testimony in court tomorrow. Which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in the short time available. So why wouldn't I show you the photograph? Because you hate me. What is it about Lord Van Zieks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. He's like he's a big scary bear with a big heart. It's hard to make out, but he appears to be wearing a monocle with black glass. Interesting. Ay, that scared me. Hi, who are you? The file I requested for the trial tomorrow. I think it's Kazuma. I think it's him. Thank you. Susato knows. Are you alright? Who is this man? Lord Van Zieks' apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Susato can see it too. Lord Van Zieks, maybe speak with your apprentice for a moment? With him, why? It's Kazuma. Wait a minute, is the pin? I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. It can only be. It's you. I think the pin might be from the first game, or the first, yeah, maybe. I think you missed it darkly. We had a chat with Susato, and she said apparently his body was missing after the whole boat thing. And we didn't technically check his body to make sure he was dead. Sholmes did that. And then they took his body, and then no one knows where it went. Okay, I had a suspicion this could be him. I felt something strange the first time I encountered this cloaked figure, as if I knew him somehow. Can it? Can it really be you? Wait. Too late. We don't know if it's him. What's going on here? That's my best friend. You stole my best friend. What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having an apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me about 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. Of course! Of course! That's really sad. No! He's forgotten every last detail about himself. Or did he? He has amnesia? Or is this all part of his plan? Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us. Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, this plot is thick. I definitely saw a reaction there. No, it's not gonna be okay. When Susato-san called out like that, it really seemed to hit a nerve. When she called out Kazuma-sama. Poor Susato, I know. All night. You'd already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Naruto? Yes, yesterday, in fact, at Lord Van Zeeks' office. I see. And if Kazuma-sama really is still alive, it means that Mr. Sholmes lied to us. I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're back. You're going to have to leave now. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they find you here, it will cause problems. Dun 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 is right. Foreign affairs problems. Well, we can do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mrs. Sato. Of course. Lying in this game? No way. Alright, I don't think I have anything new to talk to you about. Okay, I do? I don't think I have to ask about that. I want to go here. Let's meet this new lady. Oh, this skeleton. Oh, this is creepy. This is not a forensics laboratory. This is scary. Why are there so many saws? I believe this is it. Dr. Side's laboratory. That chemical smell really assaults the nose, and there's plenty to assault the eyes in here too. I do like the lamp. That's the one thing I like. The blue one. It looks as though the doctor isn't here, but we're here now, so we may as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? I know she's a coroner, but I guess like when you think of it in the modern day, everything's like white and like sterile. Here there's like blood on the table. Oh, so many saws too. Oh, oh. We could just have a little look around, being careful not to upset any restless souls. Let's... Okay, we can't look at that or that. We can look at the chair. I suppose this is Dr. Side's desk. Oh, I know, I hate it when it's quiet. Oh, I would not like to work in a place like this. Me neither. Yes. I don't know why I didn't expect it to look like this. But it makes sense from the game. It's very tidy though, isn't it, Mr. Naruto? Imagine how efficiently she must work. The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves. Well, yes. Those are valid concerns, I suppose. Okay, but also, why are there birds? I can just about cope with a one-eyed Daruma doll watching over me, but that's all. Why the birds? That looks like an owl and a crow up there. I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruto. I was afraid you're going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Her familiars? She's clearly a witch, maybe. I mean, she hasn't been outside in the sunlight, so she could still be the vampire. And this is where she gets her, this is her kitchen. That's where she gets her daily blood. Yes, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Daruma doll on display in the office instead. Look at all the bottles on the shelves in these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals. These ones here are labeled highly toxic. That's worrying because there are also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in there. Oh yes, and they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has her meals here sometimes. A vampire witch. Life goes on even when you're surrounded by death. The tools. A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbing? I get that. It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's open on the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air? You either have to have a cast iron constitution or a really terrible sense of smell. Oh, no. Oh. Those large jars seem to have pale things floating around inside them. I suppose they're fruit liquors or something, or like the pickled umeboshi plums we make back home. Father had jars just like that in his laboratory as well. I expect they're human organs in a preserving solution, probably as examples of some rare medical condition. Mr. Sato, there are some things in the world that it's perfectly fine never to know about. But she finds it fascinating. So as I said, I'm sure they're fruit liquors or emboshi, aren't they? Of course. I think that we'll have to come back here later and then talk to the doctor. Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen and the intricate carvings is a joy to behold. Western cabinet makers really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside? She is a scholar at heart. And I mean, she grew up with her dad talking about these things, so it makes sense for her to know it. Can't you tell that I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope. I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Okay, so I think we'll have to come back here later. Could go to the prison. I think we have to talk to Sholmes. Cause he lied to us. Better be here, man. He's not gonna be here. I don't think he'd be up in there. Maybe. Oh, maybe he's here. Right, he was working. And now the cop that was sitting on the far right is gone. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets. I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the waxwork. Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. No, I'm here now. Oh, this is freaky. Just watched a video of a guy making pottery and his cat started helping him. How cute would it be to make a mug and you get your cat's paw prints with all the little toe beans pushed into the side? That would be so cute. Now I want one. Oh, he is gone. Okay. What if he's behind the curtain? Ah yes, the heavy curtains in the middle of the House of Horrors. Whatever is on the other side of them, you just know it's going to be terrifying, don't you? The sign says it's the Madame Tussauds special exhibit. It seems you have to pay extra to go inside. I know, can you believe that? Pay more money? As if we haven't been scared enough already? It's not my doing, Mr. Naruto. Okay, I guess... Where haven't we been? Prison? Oh, what the heck? Pottery! Alright, someone needs to make a shop called Pottery where you bring your cat and you can make that. What's he doing? Who gave this man chalk? Oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Naruto. And who is this young lady? Oh, yeah, that could be vandalism. Although, if it's just chalk, I'm sure they can clean it up in no time. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised you I would in court this morning. Oh no. No. The whole thing, the whole miserable affair, it all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clot. Professor Hairbrain? What have you been working on in your cell? Oh, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see, and I simply had to write it down. That was all I had, to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? No, actually. This is my autobiography. Your autobiography. How I was... Oh, I'm not gonna read that out loud. I found I can represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambiguous set of simultaneous equations. Really? I'm going to have to pay back all the loans I took for the kinesis machine, you see. So it's going to be a new serial publication from next month. Part 1, an odd birth, an odd upbringing. You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talked a little more about the case? Oh yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I'm not saying that. By Asman and by that aloof engineer, we're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? This morning's trial. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asman, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. The only difference between goofing off and science is writing it down. I love that. Aw. It was never my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh. If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong. Logically, it makes no difference if you were aware of it or not. Oh, is that from Mythbusters? Nice. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I think I've seen, like, some stuff here and there, but never... nothing I can recall. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know. Barak did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution establishing its case. No. Barak wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. After the terrible accident happened, nobody would believe in my hypothesis anymore. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Adam Savage, who's that? Not the police, not the prosecution service, not any lawyers even. I feel like I dealt some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it was anyone other than Barak, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you would have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. But Barak insisted that I was a proper man of science from start to finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He's an extremely kind-hearted soul. But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appears to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How does that fit in with the kind-hearted soul idea? Oh, he's one of the hosts. Interesting. Okay. Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? I'm sorry to say that does seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financer. He looked over the paper I'd written and said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so empathetic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. It probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it, it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas? Full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on fairly legal part-time work to try to earn just a few measly pennies to carry on. Oh, that's so funny! A whole channel dedicated to Mythbusters. I think I'll pass, but if I'm ever in the mood for it, I'll know where to look for it on Twitch. To go through all that only to be taken for a complete fool is too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Drebber. Is he an engineer or a magician or a swindler? It was about a year ago when Mr. Asman first brought Drebber to meet me at my laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the Kinesis machine. But at no point did you have any inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. It's instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But the wretched man deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues you can give us as to his whereabouts? I'm sorry. We only ever discussed the kinesis machine, nothing else. Although, just once, I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory where he constructed my great machine. Why didn't you mention this before? Enoch Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. So you've been to Drebber's place of work then? Yes, just once, you understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see. Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance that we'll find Drebber there. Okay, but we need to go with an officer so they can take him. Well, yes, definitely, I'm sure. As in, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry. I was more than half expecting that. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. He blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then. The place was incredible, the pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best, a special French machine oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. The indescribable scent of that imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their scent formula and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Sato? Oh, the machine for your next birthday? I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Norono, and I'm not sure I'd like to start with that one. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card from Mr. Drebber, for example? The man was clearly very cautious, Mr. Sato. Oh. Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here, look. Let me see that. Throw etiquette to the wind, why don't you? Enoch Drebber, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address. No, oh well. I can't say I'm surprised. Still, this could be useful. Looks like he signed it. Okay. I want to show him this. Oh. Okay, never mind. While we're on this screen, we'll flip it. This dark smudge here. I think that perhaps it's machine oil. Ah yes, possibly. Professor Harebrained mentioned something about the oil Mr. Drebber uses, didn't he? He said it was specially imported, very high quality oil that's impossible to obtain in Britain. Yes, that's right. But more importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume. Oh, if only we had a dog. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry, I expect that's just because there's such a tiny amount on here. Aha! We have a Toby! Okay, but I want to show him this. Professor Harebrained, what do you make of this? Oh. No, I don't think. Sorry, Chief Inspector Toby. Okay, he didn't like that. He didn't like that. I could show him the photo of the guy. No, he doesn't care. Alright, I'm done with this man. I'm gonna go see the dog. Here. about this, Gina. Yeah, I'm still learning the letters at the moment. I only know A to E, so if it ain't too much bleeding trouble. Actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. Eh? How come? There's just a dirty old smudge on the back, that's all. Turns out that this is very high quality French machine oil. It has a very particular scent, apparently. You don't say. Let's have a whiff then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. No, we didn't mean you that should smell it. Oh, right, you mean Toby. Toby. Oh my goodness. His sense of smell is so good, he can track people over the oceans, can't he? Professor Harebrained informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop. Aww. He's so cute. I think he's picked up a scent. So you mean if he follows the scent of this oil, Toby can lead us to that dodgy Co's workshop? That's right. That's exactly what we're hoping. Alright then. We'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that. What, wait, when did you... Once a pickpocket? If I can lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss before next week. Oh yes, Gina. I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor Gregson. Now that is a good boy. Right then, leave it to me. Sorry. We're gonna get going after that dodgy engineer cove right this minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to be on guard duty here all the time. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with our investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me who gets it in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Got that oil scent, have ya? Come on then, boy. See you later. She's gonna go alone? I do hope the scent of that oil leads to that swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Oh, poor Gregson. Okay. I'm gonna try going back here. No. Where is everyone? No one's here. I think I'm gonna just keep oh, what to do? She can give me a hint. Do you know, I honestly thought I might never have the opportunity to return to Great Britain, and certainly not so soon. It's funny, for the past 6 months I haven't been able to work in court. Meanwhile, you've been raising a storm in the Supreme Court of back in Japan. Please, Mr. Naruto, I may have been dressed as a man, but it was a very reserved performance. So what your father said in this letter about a Ryutaro takedown is reserved? Well, anyway. I'm back here in this great capital now. I'm ready to assist you again, in any way I can. Thank you, Miss Susato. It's my pleasure, Mr. Naruto. Okay, that didn't help. I can try going back to prison. Do you have anything new? No. Oh, maybe I'll try the crossbow. Ay, ay, ay. I wish I could skip this. He does not want me to show him anything. Maybe I can go back on the stage. I think I'll go here first and do another check. This place gives me the creeps. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go back. I'm gonna try going back here. Can I go up here? The Crystal Tower. Can't believe I'm seeing it. I'm just gonna skip this. I don't think it's gonna do anything. Give my voice a little break. No, we're not gonna try? Oh, thanks for the hydrate. I'll take another sip. This is like the last cup of water that I need before the end of the day. I'm doing really well with my hydrating because I think part of the reason I might have been getting migraines in the past is because I was dehydrated. And now I'm trying to get my, what is it, 64 ounces a day? Or 8 cups? I'm at 7 cups. Yeah, 64. Yeah, it is hard to remember. I feel like I have been getting that many cups, but actually tracking it has been really good. 'Cause I just never thought to track it before. Alright, maybe I will take a hint. I'm thinking of going to the prison and just like showing Harebrained everything I have, because I don't think there's anyone else I can talk to. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Ah, let's do everything while we're investigating. Oh. I can't go here though. Oh, I didn't realize she gives hints. So I missed something. What did I miss? Thank you for the hint. Of course, the book. I guess because I analyzed the chair, I thought it was both. Oh, that's a beautiful hint, because you didn't even like tell me where to go. You just told me where the hints are. Thank you. Look at this thick book. It appears to be an accounting ledger. Oh, it's gonna be about the corpse. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending. Oh? What is it? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but, well, one entry seems rather strange. Really, in what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month? 500? They must be working really hard on dissecting corpses. I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances, and scalpel blades can be sharpened. It does seem a bit strange, you're right. 500 a month? What could they possibly be using all of them for? Oh, that's really scary. What are you doing? Oh, I hate that. Oh, she's very scary. I don't like her. She gives me the creeps. Oh. But if they can be sharpened, does it matter if they're bad quality? Ooh. I can't even think why they would need that many. I don't know. Sorry, we had something we wanted to ask you, but you weren't here, so you thought you'd snoop around. That's acceptable to you people from the East, is it? Well, what do you want? Lord Strongheart told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Asmund's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings, on Lord Strongheart's advice. Perhaps they're so bad quality when you try to sharpen them, they break. Maybe. That sounds like a bad purchase. But maybe back in the day they were just poor quality. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. That's not suspicious at all. Not at all. You're so angry. So you want to know what the forensics investigation team determined from its examination of the scene. The victim, Mr. Odi Asmund, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion, and the Mr. Asmund who appeared moments later partway up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion. But that can't be right. You're lying. If it was an elaborate trick, we can only speculate about how it was carried out. Let's see. If two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they? Very true, but sadly, in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make that quite evident. Ah, fingerprints. They're not yet officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system. But one day, they will be used as an investigative aid as a matter of course. Oh my, but that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So where does that leave us? My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions. Yeah, but I feel like Strongheart is telling her to say this so that the forensic team looks good and so that he can be in power. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, and yet the body did move from one place to the other. This hasn't cleared anything up at all. It's made the whole thing even more of a mystery. Oh, Mama, what is this? Where did she spring from? Oh, this is a different person. And she just called the doctor Mama? This is a lawyer, dear. Oh? Hello. To meet you. Pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm a defense lawyer. Rinosuke Naruto. Yes? Can I cut this one up? What? I've never seen... Ugh! I want to know what it looks like. Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see. Yeah, the plague doctor. I was trying to think of what the name of the mask is. Ugh, that's so creepy. Boring. They all have like these cross brooches or ribbon, I guess. I think. I just had a near-death experience. Oh dear, Mr. Naruto, you're as pale as a corpse. Then let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. Well, I think we've done all the investigating we can here for now. If we could just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber. I'm sure Gina and little Toby won't let us down. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak with Mr. Sholmes at this point? We have things to discuss, and I'm dying to meet him again after all these months. Yes, it's quite possible he might know something useful, you're right. We ought to find him at Madame Tussauds. He's supposed to be working there as a temporary waxwork exhibit. Yes, Iris told me all about his latest unusual venture. Alright, let's get out of here. This place is scary. We're gonna go to the other scary place. Here we are again at the House of Horrors. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet. Me too, Susato. I'd still like to turn on my heels and go straight home, via the confectionery. Oh wait, we already read this. But I feel the same way. What's the matter? Look at that waxwork. I'm quite sure it wasn't there before. And he's gonna be in his cat outfit. It looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to the very last detail. Ah, what is it? Oh, sorry. I think you'll find that's the temporary waxwork himself. Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee. Oh yes, hello again. It's Rinosuke Naruto. I must say, I am quite spellbound by the Greek detective. He is a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs. You don't mean... But yes, the mystery is solved already. Wow, Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry enough. So as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties. Yes. His habitual duties? Allure. Do not disturb. Huh? Are you happy this damn investigation is so short? It is not. Well, the first one... Wasn't it like 4 hours? So, if it's shorter than 4 hours, then yeah, it's gonna be short. But no, I'm expecting another 4 hours. It's only been 2. And I'm not too tired, so that's good. I don't know. We really do need to speak with Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he? He's boxing. I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually. Oh, what do... Indeed, my dear fellows. It is I. The world's famous great detective and waxwork, Herlock Sholmes. Susato! Did she throw him? Suddenly Sholmes. Oh, she just beat him up. My most humble apologies. I thought I'd died and gone to eternal paradise for a moment, via London. My dear madame, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. Oh, did she faint? I thought it was a takedown. As long as it's not of questionable street food quality. I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes? Merely a secret identity, you understand, though the case is largely solved now. Largely solved? We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed, we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess, I'm not I'm yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today, for that matter. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. So how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Well, do you remember, I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone? Oh yes, it's a most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of other cities are connected as yet. This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. That's amazing! Just between you and I, it would appear the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event. Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no? Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive. But does that not mean your negotiating was entirely unnecessary? A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Tuspel's at all costs. A hungry young Iris awaits my return to Baker Street after all. Poor Iris. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with the great waxwork? Yes? We're in the process of trying to track somebody down. Oh? Yes, a man by the name of Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Harebrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine. A swindler and an engineer? Quite the modern man. He also seems to be a conjurer of sorts, too, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. But we have so few clues to go on. That's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something of the man's appearance at least, I may be in a better position to help. Yes, Drebber's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Okay, I have the thing, but I want to talk about this. Mr. Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Mr. Nono, stay that piercing stare. What is this about? Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, your words were very clear. So then let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. You told us that it was murder, and you examined Kazuma-sama's body. Indeed, and wherein lies the problem? We met him earlier today, the victim, Kazuma Asagi. You're quite sure? He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure. It was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead. Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all? Don't laugh. I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it? I could believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake, but not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourself on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. What the heck? Told us nothing. Alright. Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eye over this photographic print? Look at this photograph. It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber, the face of the engineer we seek. Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course, so looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Except this man looks... Oh, are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, forgive me. Very interesting, this. Very interesting indeed. What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden. I have a suggestion. Will you indulge me? Oh, well, what is it? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. And I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken behind those thick curtains. Ah, yes, the professor exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it? No, I don't want to see it. No, thank you. For a mere 5 shillings. That's a special one-time only price, you understand. What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor? Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we can postpone. The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it. Are you being quite serious? Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is serious or silly, a seriousness or a silliness. I can never tell with you. That's the point. Very well. It couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings. Gratefully received. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. I don't want to look. I'm such a scaredy cat. Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit. I don't want to... Through those heavy curtains at last. I'm scared. I'm very scared, you guys. I'm so scared. Don't be shy. I am shy. Let me be shy. We can ask Gina to retrieve it for us using her special skills. Wait, retrieve what? Oh, the money. Oh, not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-living inspectors. Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think. Oh, you guys, I don't want to look. It's gonna be scary. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't think I can play this game anymore. I hate that. I hate it. You guys can't see, but this other person still has their head. Hold on. Oh, now I gotta put this back. Okay. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Miss Usato, I say we turn our heels and go straight home. We certainly can't do that. We paid 5 shillings already. True. Oh, the owl in the back scared me. I hate this. I'm hydrating out of fear. Actually, now I'm looking a little more close. I don't zoom in. Paid really good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great... I don't like how they keep saying that. It's far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Since we paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get what we paid for. Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato's voice tremble? I don't want to examine... This must be the killer, the fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so, according to what Madame Tuspel said. He killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Perhaps not. So this is the condemned man. Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine? But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost? Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it. That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece too. I knew it. I knew they put this body up by the tower. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as a big building, for example. Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken too. You don't mean exactly the Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged in this waxwork? Makes you think, doesn't it? Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick, and now we discovered this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? Is that everything? Oh, this is creeping me out. Who's this? This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. And he has a large shovel in his hand too. Look. Perhaps we should investigate it in a little more detail. Perhaps not. Just the coat? Is that all we can look at? Not their face? What a large shovel. He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with the shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night? Miss Susato? Yes? That's a spade, isn't it? No, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. We've been through this, Mr. Naruto. It's a shovel. No. Although we haven't considered trowels. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. What is this? A camera. What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. Camera, but it's so small. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. We'll just borrow this for a little while, I think. Okay, we're just stealing now. By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Susato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? What? Did we get the photo or no? Oh, I guess I have to analyze it. Look, it's the same thing that Drebber has on his coat. Oh, this is so creepy. We're gonna have to look at the face. It's gonna be Drebber, I bet. I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits? I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. Did we take off the head? Oh, I don't like that noise. Oh, we're just turning it, okay. Aha. What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle. Mr. Naruto, is it possible that this man is... Yes. Oh. It's Enoch Drebber. But his hair looks darker. It's unmistakably him. Who is this? Oh, okay. Mr. Sholmes. This man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the motto was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed right now. So then the case isn't solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head, tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Do you know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed they are, Miss Susato. Do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? I think it's time I educate you a little. Can we just get out of this room first? About the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Can we leave? I don't like this creepy room. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound. Oh, that's where the collar comes in. And had their their throats ripped from their bodies. Oh gosh, an enormous hound, how awful. After taking the life of his 5th victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity... As you surmise, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh? The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Came back to life. He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness. But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen. That is terrifying. Ugh. So, this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Tussauds. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly, but what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place. In a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? I don't like this. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies. The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. Then how does Madame Tussauds know what he looks like? Unless Drebber, told her what he looked like. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What? What do you mean? By no resurrection. The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No. But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society and nothing had been heard of him since. It's rather striking then that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. Oh, I hate this. Who is that? Oh, Gina! What the bleeding Nora? What have you gone and done? Gina, what are you doing here? Oh, okay. Hi, Christian. This game's getting really scary. I don't like it. I'm scared. Ugh. I think maybe the dog led her here. But no, she asked Iris, so never mind. Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Tussbos will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand, but please put down the gun. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I got scared. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found the Dodgy Cove's workshop. You found Drebber's workshop as a puppy. Yep, Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in a drag, so come on. Okay, before we go. My theory on the whole dead guy coming back to life is that Drebber saw someone, like someone else, maybe searching the grave and coming out of it, but that was a different person than the guy who is dead. And then he got scared and ran. So he didn't see. Either way, I don't like it. Ugh. Okay. You think the butler did it? There's no butler. There's no candlestick. I'm so scared. This is a video game and it's making me scared. There's a butler in the first game, but he was actually a cop. So, fake butler. Or no, he was a waiter. He's a waiter. In the conservatory. It's always the butler or the maid. What if it was Toby? What if Toby is the son of the guy, the professor's dog? And Toby's actually leading us to our death. Okay, we have the address now. Hold on, I gotta fix this. Toby's the dog. Aw, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Anything to get me out of this room. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I hate looking at this. It's so scary. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here being still. What? I know my place in the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Where did his eyes go? Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me. I must stay, but if I were to shrink my duties here, Madame would have me pay monetary recompense. Oh, forget that. I'll pay for everything. Then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. Why are we bringing him with us? He lied to us. Oh no, she's gonna pay half? Thank you, Mrs. Otto. Right, let's go. Oh my goodness. I'm not prepared for this. We're at his workshop and we're gonna find him. Or not. That looks like... Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. You blame Cece? Tax evaded? Cece's fault. Everything's her fault. No, she's been pretty good today. We had a nice little cuddle. Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype naturally. Ah, so you got here then. Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time, you've really worked miracles. I've also noticed the arrows that are clearly in that red container over there. No, don't hate Cece. Cece's so nice. She's so cute. Is Toby here, who's the miracle worker? Aww. Gregson. Ah, I thought you lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. He looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, it's infinite fish and chips. Aw, Targly, you had to remind me of the salad spinner. I forgot about that. Now I'm mad at her again. Okay, we all hate Cece. Oh, man. I forgot about that. It was a good salad spinner, too. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us the chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. Kitty. I wouldn't want to say go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. And then them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. I'm going straight to the arrows. It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Ah, do you suppose? Crossbow bolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the eyes. Is that supposed to happen? Or maybe it's because I have him in the different outfit. In other words, yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Nice. Okay, there's a door. This door doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over from the yard, so hands off until he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's given it to you. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Just break the door. I kinda want to. I'm sorry, Mr. Rono, that machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Really? There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Mr. Sato. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive looking back massager. What? I've no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. Massager. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like a massage? No, 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 I'm fine. Thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madame. And how about you, Mr. Norono? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course? He's not gonna let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly displayed somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. Oh, let's take a look at it. Guys, I'm scared. I'm scared it's gonna be the scientist and he's gonna kill all of us. The laws are just a suggestion. Oh, I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Oh, what if there was another murder? Is something wrong? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Okay, it's just a game. It's just a game. I need to relax. Oh. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, Toby will get them, right? I heard it and all. What do you reckon, Toby? Right, mind the grease. Whoever's in there, open up. This is Scotland Yard. Oh my, someone is in there. Oh, this rotten, bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenance, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Is he gonna let him? Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Scotland Yard, open up! Oh wow. There, you may enter at will. You confuse minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. What is Rinosuke gonna do? He is more scared than I am. Oh, he made a mess. This was worse than finding a killer. Finding a mess. What happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Rats. There ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away. But there's only one door into this room. And there's a bomb. Rinosuke's pining for Kazuma. It keeps him going and unafraid true. Oh. Oh, there's footprints on the roof. It's a canon event. Although, how old is Rinosuke? Hold on. Oh, it doesn't say. Because what if we're also 16? Yeah, don't worry. We'll take our time. We'll look at the bomb when we feel like it. No windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. But there are footprints and a balloon. What's that up there? Are they footprints? On the ceiling? Blow me. What have we done? What have we here then? That's our cabana. Looks like someone is trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? To that Professor Harebrain's Barmy machine, is it? Blimey, if we had these, there'd have been no need to muck and trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There's something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Alright, enjoy your hot tub. I'm not gonna die, I'll be fine. I'm just gonna be a little scared. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruto. Hi, Peter, welcome back. Yeah, keep Christian company in the tub. We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too. Yeah, can we talk about this? Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruto. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Huh, let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Okay, that's why they weren't concerned. This is way back in the day. Mr. Sato, what's the matter? Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? Did you say a time bomb? Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? Guys, I'm so stressed. If it gets bad, just send bagels, start meowing at the door. Yes, that will distract me. Oh, I miss Bagel. I actually almost brought him in here when I went to the bathroom earlier. But I was like, if I let him in here, he will yell at me outside that door the entire stream. But it's okay. I'll give him extra cuddles after stream. You truly are one of a kind. Guys, should we really be chatting this much when a bomb is about to go off? I won't take that as a compliment. You don't know nothing, do you? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then what is it? I see, so that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes, have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Drebber himself. Oh, but how could you... And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. He didn't like that. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madame. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sato. Oh, yes. I'd be delighted. What was that facial expression? From, was it from Gregson? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular, but there's no one around to react. Okay. I guess we're using Susato. I love how we have the time to to figure out if this is a time bomb instead of just getting out of here. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. Yeah, exactly. This is not the time. Okay, the bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, therefore falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that... Indeed, the key here, oh, safe, is gravity. Oh, Sholmes. It would appear that technology has at least succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mr. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. Oh no. No, this is a time bomb. Featured in a dream of mine? Ay ay ay. Oh, why does it have a clock on it? A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There is a clear requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, we need look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before restoring to normality in an automatic fashion some time later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely the scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madame. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room. Excepting the skylight, that is. Ah. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Huh. Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring the end to the wall, and the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. Can you imagine? Drebber's in this room as we speak, and he's just watching us be idiots. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Please don't. Don't touch the bomb. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Me and Gregson had the same face. We're all gonna die. She's completely spellbound. Oh my goodness. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with a man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. But your whole deduction hinges on it. But my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I read it in something that Mr. Sato lent me once. Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. The spell's broken at last. The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? He clearly set that bomb for far too long. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he was just trying to scare us. Or the bomb is broken. Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little bit of a helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is definitely, oh my goodness, I can't even talk. Definitely video game logic. Yep. Everything's fine. No need to rush at all. We got time. Oh boy. It's plain to see that this room is oh, okay. I'm gonna skip through this. Save my voice. To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room, I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation, but the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so... Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once. Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Mrs. Sato. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Okay, good. We can turn... What is this? Okay, Look, Mr. Sato, when everything seems to be upside down in here, the safe is conspicuously the right way up. Yes, that's true, but look more closely at the safe's feet. Ah, that's a lot of very large bolts fixing it to the floor. True, let's Susato investigate, honestly. Think before you speak, that's what you wanted to say, isn't it? I really put my foot in my mouth there. I certainly didn't say that. Oh. Inverted furniture. Well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Ah, look at that. I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? To be honest, Mr. Naruto, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me. Oh, I can't save? That's fun. Okay. Oh, I just have to present the vase? The vase? The vase? I see, okay. Yeah.
Take that!
I thought I had to do something else, but no. Upon my word, Mr. Naruto, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. This unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. But the show must go on. Who cares about the bomb? The show must go on. Ryusuke has Sholmes' mannerisms? Oh, does he actually? Oh, I guess so, yeah. Now that we know that this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned over is because of the device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, is he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. I know what it is. Oh, it's this way. What is this? Oh my goodness. Oh, and the controls. There we go.
Take that!
I love how they write it in such big letters and numbers. Like, if someone, I guess, like, who would come into the room and check under all the furniture, but maybe write it a bit smaller? Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruto, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year, when I bought a lottery ticket and noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what pray happened next, Mr. Naruto? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into. Oh. We're done with that. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drubber overturned all the furniture in here in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. We're only halfway done this part. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have is above our heads. Oh yes, I can skip this. Oh my god, this is only case 3. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness. This is only case 3. How? This feels like case 5. This is really long. Yeah, I definitely got my money's worth. I think I paid, what, 20 bucks max for this game? And I already have over 70 hours in it, so. Bye, Darkly. Have a good day at work. Or I guess have a good night at work. Hopefully you play lots of Switch. Impress your coworkers. Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there? Yeah, Switch at work does sound like the best. Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I think I saw something behind the balloon, so I think that might be it. They stopped that? Oh no! I'm gonna skip this. I can't handle. Yeah, I can't handle Sholmes right now. Alright, what's behind the balloon? A shoe! What the heck? Okay.
Take that!
They were mad that Darkly was whooping everyone? How is that shoe there? There are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. For what purpose? A green balloon, hmm? Oh yeah, I forgot about that, the green balloon. Aha. Here's a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruto and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon... Aha. Yes, the second bird cage. You mean to say, if we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Oh, I didn't think of that. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Ah. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with the shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way we could see inside it. I mean, we have a crossbow. And arrows. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier. Okay, I can skip all this because he already said it. Okay, I don't think it's the rope. Oh, nice.
Take that!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact, and in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. Tick, 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 tick. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Ah! What the? A waxwork? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside, that means. Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... oh goodness. I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susato. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Tuspel's model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed it was. But I believe Madame Tuspel's will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes. But why is it here? I mean, no duh, we know why it's here. This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Tuspel's and returning it earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. I know, this bomb... these people need to get out of here. But first, let's open the safe, and then we'll leave. Professor Harebrain's case and the waxwork abduction are... linked. Oh my goodness. But I wonder if the metal on the head is supposed to be there, or if Enoch put it on. I don't know. It appears our logical pressure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? Yeah, where did he go? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, the man must still be here in the room. And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Somewhere? I don't like this. I don't like this. Will you do the honors? Yes, of course. In the safe? Oh, I can't save. Cupboard. It's a large safe. Could be the wardrobe. I feel like the wardrobe would fit him. The safe might be a bit too crammed. Yeah, I think it's the wardrobe because that's where, you know, our main character was put. You had some experience of that yourself a year ago, didn't you? Uh-huh. Oh, I have to... Oh, I didn't present it.
Take that!
It's wrong! Oh no! He's in the safe? Oh man, I can save here. I'm gonna do that. Oh my gosh. This is taking forever. Yes, I need the save scum. Oh my goodness.
Take that!
Watch it be wrong. Oh, okay. He must be a small man. Before getting access, oh yeah, we did hear like a door swing. It must have been the... Yeah. Right. Which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process. Yeah, he heard everything, but he was also dumb enough to not flip the chair back around. From which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. Not so safe after all, huh, Drebber? This concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction, yada yada. I would call it a bad deduction. It was very off the mark. Yeah, we still have the bomb. So I'm assuming it wasn't set, because he's in the room, but I guess he said it hoping we'd all go boom and then he could come out of the safe. But how does he get out of the safe? Who would have opened it for him? I have so many questions. I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 1432582. I knew that. Alright then, here goes. Oh, this is creepy. It's a murderer. Oh, great. That looks comfy. You found me. And he's gonna grab the bomb. This is so creepy. This is me when I wake up in the morning. I'm full of creaks. Is he breakdancing? Is he a robot? I actually thought he was dead. Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't think he was dead. Oh my goodness. That would have been so scary. Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. Correct. You better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork for Madame Tussaud's as well. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions, I don't like this guy's movements. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Ah. Oh, it opens from the inside. Interesting. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then? No. I mean, we can all just run, can't we? Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare. That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Oh, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Anti-gravity devices don't exist. Here, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. So we're just gonna chat with him now? Mad Susato, she's gonna flip you. No, not what's it called? She's gonna take you down. What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. He's so creepy. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we've been giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Drebber. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt. Whistling? That would have been me. Oh. For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So then I set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe, having first set this parcel ticking? Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Got a death wish, have ya? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb? Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe. It's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't have left a scratch on it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. Once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. Oh, I didn't notice that, yeah. But the safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I'd always intended to blow this place to smithers in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you're planning to blow us all up? No. That was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah, I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. Look at his face. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the unusual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. Yeah, he definitely intended to murder them. He definitely could have. I guess it wasn't intended, but yeah. Oh my goodness. What about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition. And the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. Oh. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. Hi. Didn't expect you here. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, Dr. Scythe again. So the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer to access him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. He's like, I don't care, I'm going to Paris. You lot, leave at once. My dear madame, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe? Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell. You get out. But of course, we'll show ourselves to the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruto. Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. We're in trouble. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here, and that this lot disarmed. Inspector? Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drebber? So sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. What are you... That one? You mean... I'm too shocked to read right now. Oh, it's only 2 more counts of murder? No one else was harmed? Oh my gosh. You guys, I need to go to bed. Oh, we go straight to the trial next. Oh my gosh. I need to digest all this. Holy moly. You guys were right last time when I finished the trial and you said it was just gonna get crazier. I believe it now. Wow. Oh, from what you can see in the video, yeah. Well, it said a big explosion, so I wondered if it hurt anyone else. Okay, I'm gonna save again, just in case. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not hungry. But thank you. Or, I mean, I'm hungry, but I shouldn't eat anything. Get back to title. Don't save. Yes. Oh my goodness, Christian, you missed a lot. I can't go to bed. What can you eat? Let me think. What do we have? Oh, we have a lot of snacks. Yeah, we have some snacks in the pantry. Anyways. My goodness. My brain is fried. Absolutely fried. Snacks you don't like. Don't worry, I'll come downstairs and we'll see what I'll see what I can do for you. Alright, thank you for watching. I want to say I'll stream tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll emotionally recover enough by tomorrow to play again. Oh my goodness. We'll see. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay. How did you use my hype emote? Is that a follower emote? Maybe it is. Oh well. Okay. I'll be back maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. I don't know. This game is nuts. I know the hype emote is a follower one. Maybe the hype is too. It probably is. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.